So today, let me show you how to install a Hydro E-brake into, preferably, since I have a Nissan 350Z, that's what this one's for specifically. And we're gonna see how this goes. So I know a lot of people go for just welding in the Hydro straight into the body itself, or they weld in a plate that they can then bolt the Hydro onto, but I'm gonna go for the style where I can completely return it back to stock. So I can essentially unbolt everything and take my Hydro with me, connect the lines up, and it's like it never happened. First things first, gotta expose all this where you want to mount it. I'm gonna use these two bolt holes as the mounting points for my plate that's gonna come off and sit right here, maybe a little bit forward, and then I'm gonna have to cut out some of this stuff, which is a little disappointing, but it's just kind of got to happen with a Hydro E-brake sitting right here. I don't have access to a welder. I don't really know anyone specifically that is down to just help me on the fly here right now with a welder. I have to go with my other options. So here's what you're gonna need. I went for the cheap route. It's gonna be a little harder to route, but I got some nice long hard lines. Those are my lines. Proper extended bolts and some nuts for the mounting point right next to the shifter, so that I can mount this up properly without having to worry about if there's enough threads for my plate. I have some brake fluid, hydraulic e-brake, and then you need a cutter for the metal and a drill with some drill bits. Here is the metal that I bought. Should tell me here. It is 3/16. It rubbed off, but it's thick, and it doesn't, yeah. So here's my ASD hydraulic e-brake that I want to sit right about here. This might be fixed someday, so this will be used for parking purposes, but it still clears. All right, so if I'm going for this spot right here, I need to measure this out and how long that's gonna be. I'm seeing right at about, I'm gonna say 7 inches. I'm gonna need at least 2.5 to 3 inches. So I'm gonna go measure my metal that I have and see if that's wide enough, or if I have to do a double plate sort of style, which in that case would be nice to have a welder, but even then I think I can make it work with the bolts I have. So we're hoping for 7 inches by 2.5 inches. This is 2 inches. God, that's gonna be close. There's a plate. Instead of just having one piece here that bolts on and then to just straight put the Hydro on there, I've got to create 2 pieces that come across, and then. Alright, so now I'm placing this exactly how I want one plate to sit. So now I'm going to go drill 2 holes in the spots that I've marked. Alright, back in here, got 2 holes drilled in these. Here's the front one. These are not going anywhere by yanking on them with a Hydro. I had this mocked up, cross members last night, and then I had the single plate coming across. I had to trim a little bit under here. So measure 5 times, cut once, or drill once, right? That's what they say. Or is it twice? I'd go 5. So then I ended up with this. 2 nuts holding the actual e-brake in, and then I have 2 more bolts and 2 more nuts holding in the entire brace. And that's all bolted down so it fits perfectly on these 2 right here. So now I have all these sharp edges back over here that's going to kind of tear up my seat, and I just kind of want to round those out with the grinder and make it a little bit better for visual aesthetics. It's not going anywhere. Really like that. And then look at that. I got to figure out where my hard lines are going with the car. Do that. We're pushing these new lines through the wire harness hole in the firewall down in there. Hard to see, but it's there. So the hardest part of this whole process has been fighting these hard lines. Okay, so after realizing that I needed to change my white shirt because it was getting really dirty, and that the master cylinder has these thicker fittings on them, along with the top here compared to these smaller lines. I had to go get fittings that worked, and I chopped that up. So now that I got the lines made up and flared and everything, and the adapters that I would need to make this all work, let's continue installing it. So the final steps to this install is then once you have everything set up, you just have to go through, bleed all your brakes, then cut everything up to make it fit. So I have to cut up all along here, which is gonna be this. Getting everything cut out real nice. I think it's looking good. So we have the front of the brake master cylinder here coming up into the in of the Hydro, the ASD Hydro. Went through, which then actuates out here and around to MC1. We had to switch this one here, front left, and this one down here, which is our rear left. So you switch those two, and then you've got your Hydro E-brake set up. At the final bit, you have to disconnect this, and you will end up with a few dash lights. Brake and ABS will show up because of this mod. Had it for about a week, 2 weeks now, sitting here. Couldn't be more happy. Thing works great. And it's got a little bit of play here. That probably could be fixed with some bleeding of the brakes. But it works fine. ASD did a great job making a Hydro worth buying. It's not some crappy eBay $30 piece. Built amazingly. Hard lines fit in perfectly well. Any questions about what I did here or comments, leave them, and I will be getting back to you with more drift stuff as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, guys.